Hello and welcome to A Parent Guide, Resources for Gifted Students. My name is Dr. Jo Tuite, and it's my pleasure to be here with you. I have a brief presentation that I'm going to share with you in just a moment, and then I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have. To share a little bit about my background with you, I've worked in the field of gifted education for about 35 years. And my educational background is actually a bit varied. I have undergraduate degrees in business and in sociology, a master's in educational administration, and then a doctorate in educational leadership with a certification in high ability education. Lending context to my education are my children. I have four kiddos who have and are running the educational gamut from requiring special education services to high achieving. I have a creative thinker and then a gifted high ability student as well. Definitely knowing how to look for and utilizing resources has been very important for me as a parent as well as for an educator. So that's enough about me. Let's go ahead and jump right into the program. Tonight I want to highlight several different resources that are available out there for everyone to utilize. One of the best resources that we have here in Indiana is the Indiana Association for the Gifted, or IAG for short. The IAG supports students, they support parents, they support educators, and are just truly a fantastic resource for information as well as for advocacy. When you go to their website, which is listed there on the screen in front of you, and click on resources, you're going to see a section specifically for parents. Once inside on that page, rather, you're going to find information on topics like understanding your high ability child, high ability education in school, high ability education outside of school, advocacy, and twice exceptional. And then as you start to drill down into each of these options, you're going to find even additional resources that are specific to that topic. For example, just using the first one there as the example, understanding your high ability child, you're going to find information in that section that kind of defines what gifted or high ability is, as well as gives you characteristics of high ability learners, information on asynchronous development, and so forth. IAG also hosts a yearly conference in Indianapolis, and that conference is for educators as well as parents. It's typically held early December. This year it seems like it's a little bit later. We were just talking about that earlier today in another meeting I was in. I think it's like December 13th to 15th, but don't hold me to that. But I think that's when it is. But it's a fantastic conference, and they do have sessions specifically for parents. And then another thing that IAG offers are scholarships for graduating seniors. So this is a local resource that I do highly recommend. IAG is a part of the National Association for Gifted Children, or NAGC for short. NAGC is an organization that works to empower all of those who support gifted or high ability children. And they do so through advocacy, through outreach, education, and research. So to utilize the resources of NAGC, you can go to the website there that's listed on your screen. And once you're there, you're going to click on a tab that's called Knowledge Center. Once you do, you're going to be met with a host of truly fantastic information. For example, there's a section on definitions, and this is really good. It gives you an opportunity to kind of brush up and or learn the different terms that are associated with gifted education. You'll also find different strategies and best practices, both for inside and outside of the classroom. And but those best practices also cover topics such as accelerated curriculum, compacting, grouping, identification, and so forth. And then you're going to see a section on publications. And then a parent tip sheet. I want to draw your attention to, under the publication section there, one particular publication. It's called Parenting for High Potential. And this comes out, I think it comes out quarterly. And it offers families and caregivers of high ability or gifted children tips. It offers strategies and support for helping your kids grow. So this is a really good publication and one that I use and that I would recommend. Another section or item that I want to mention is under that parent tip sheet. That has, when you click on that, you're going to find like a whole plethora of PDFs that offer tips on such things as advocacy, creativity, giftedness in the classroom, social emotional development. I guess those are kind of more of those broad umbrella terms. And then within each of those, you're going to find quite a few number of PDFs that you can download that have some fantastic tips. Just like IAG, NAGC also has a yearly conference for educators and parents. It's kind of held in different places all across the country. This coming year, or this year, 2025, it's going to be in Pennsylvania. So for those of us here in Indiana, that's not too far away. So again, this is a really good conference. I believe that one's going to be in November. And then they also have a resource directory. And full disclosure, I haven't used that resource directory much myself. But it's IAG, so I'm sure it's fantastic. When you click on that directory, it gives you different schools that are specific for high ability students. It gives you different camps that are available, different enrichment programs that exist, and so forth. So again, another resource for you to be able to utilize. Next, I'll just briefly mention the World Council for Gifted and Talented Children. The mission of World Council is to kind of focus the world attention on gifted and talented children, and their hope is to be able to ensure the realization of gifted children to gifted adults potential and the benefit that it has to all humankind. They have some resources on there that are really good, particularly if you're looking to really take a deeper dive into understanding various aspects of gifted education. It's extremely good for educators as well. Couple of the resources that I'll mention are publications. They publish a newsletter called World Gifted, and I think that comes out, it's maybe two times a year. And then they also have a journal called Gifted and Talented International, and that one also comes out twice a year. They also offer webinars throughout the year. For this academic year, I believe they've completed their last one. However, on their website, they do have recorded copies of all of those webinars that they've had. So those are fantastic as well. And then they have an international gifted information section. This is a section that I really enjoy taking a look at. You can see all of the policies and provisions that different countries have around the world as it pertains to high ability or gifted children. And then they also have a world conference. That one, usually every other year, it's in the United States. World Council is actually hosted out of or based out of Kentucky. So once every other year, it's in the United States. I think this year, 2025's conference is in Spain. I wish I could travel to that one. The next one I want to highlight is Purdue University's Jerry program. Jerry stands for Gifted Education Research and Resource Institute. This is, they offer fantastic camps and enrichment programs for students. So I just want to highlight a couple of the youth programs that they have. First, they have summer residential camps, and these are for students who have completed grades 5 through 12. Um, for the residential camps, the participants live on campus in a residence hall. They take really challenging courses. They're typically about 2 grade levels above. Um, that's for all of the different courses that they offer. And so they take those courses and then they get to participate in kind of engaging activities. Um, Jerry tends to offer these summer residential camps, about 3 per summer, so about 3 programs a summer. And then for their super summer programs, those are day camps where students that are grades K4 get to go to campus and enjoy challenging courses with other students who are also academically, creatively, and artistically talented youth, which is really nice for our high ability students to be able to have that interaction time with a similar cohort group. They attend these programs for a full day, and they are challenging, they're hands-on, and they kind of focus around a central theme. And then there are the Super Saturday programs, and these are for students grades K8. And these take place over multiple consecutive Saturdays. And they provide an opportunity for their participants to kind of explore more advanced material and develop kind of critical and creative thinking skills. And again, it's a great way for high ability students to make new friends and engage with a similar cohort group. And then are the Jerry, I'm not sure how they're pronouncing MOOCs, so I'm just going to say MOOCs. I guess it could be MOOCs or MOOC. I don't know. We're going to call it MOOCs, Jerry MOOCs program. These are all free online enrichment courses. So being online, it's really nice, makes it very accessible. They provide affordable and flexible ways to learn new skills, as well as help students to advance their own personal goals. So those are the different youth summer programs that they offer. You'll also find a section on there for research. So if you're interested in doing a little bit deeper dive on certain topics surrounding gifted education, you can take a look there. And they also offer professional development for educators. Next would be Northwestern University's Center for Talent Development, often referred to as CTD. CTD is, they're dedicated to helping academically talented students, typically starting at age 4 and then through grade 12, helping them to utilize their potential by doing assessments, offering advanced enrichment programs, and accelerated programs. So I want to highlight again just a few things here. Their summer programs, for example, they have both residential, commuter, and online options. So that provides a lot of flexibility for families. Their online programs, they have a really wide variety for all ages and all different subject types. So these programs tend to include honors classes for grades 6 to 12. They have AP classes for grades 9 through 12, and then enrichment programs and accelerated summer classes for grades 6 through 12. Plus, they offer 4-week online family programs for grades K3, which getting down into those little bit younger ages, I think is really a nice option. There aren't a whole lot of programs that will have offerings or focus on that younger group. Northwestern now, Center for Talent Development, they are one that does offer that. They also have weekend programs, and these could be either a single weekend or multiple weekend programs. And these are enrichment courses that they offer. And these are offered for kiddos that are pre-K through 8th grade. And then they have their leadership and service learning programs. And these programs help students develop skills to make a positive impact on the world at large. These programs include a Civic Leadership Institute, and that focuses on the social and political issues, and that's for grades 9 through 12. And then they have an online leadership intensive, and that's to help students in grades 7 through 11 build up their leadership skills. And then they have an on-campus summer leadership intensive for grades 6 through 8, and that offers kind of a hands-on community building opportunity. And then finally is the weekend leadership, and that's a 6-week Saturday program. So it's like 6 consecutive Saturdays. And that's for grades 7 to 8. And that's going to provide them with hands-on skill development. And they're looking at a variety of different skills that they're working on in those 6 weeks of programming. And then they also offer some fantastic family opportunities. Um, they offer a gifted education boot camp for parents. I think that one is fantastic. During that one, as parents, you learn about identification, how students are identified as high ability, the different methods for doing so, and kind of what goes into that. You learn about the different services and programs that are out there for students that include both in-school and supplemental programming. They have sessions on psychosocial skills and social emotional development, as well as advocacy, and the list kind of goes on and on. Excuse me. And then they also have parent seminars and webinars, and the topics for those vary pretty widely. Let's see, next I'm going to highlight Ball State Center for Talent Development. The center's mission is kind of multifaceted, if you will, and has several different points to their mission. I'm just going to mention a few of them. One of them is to identify, promote, and develop giftedness, creativity, and talent, as well as to provide students with access to enrichment opportunities and enhanced educational experiences. They also work as advocates for our high ability gifted students, both at state and national levels, as well as international levels too, I guess. But I've seen most of the advocacy at the local and state levels. So how do they go about fulfilling that mission? Through these different resources that they offer. So for gifted individuals, gifted students, gifted adults, they offer enrichment programming and different educational opportunities, focusing specifically on the development of talent and on creativity and critical thinking skills. They also focus on testing and counseling services as well. And then for our educators, they have professional development opportunities, as well as training for professionals on social and emotional needs, as well as motivational support for gifted learners. They also have curriculum development that they can work with as well. For our parents of high ability students, they offer seminars, they offer counseling services, and then they have different resources to assist parents in nurturing and guiding their high ability students. And then finally, Ball State offers schools and communities support through evaluating what they're offering within their schools and in their communities to help them improve those programs and or the content delivery. Um, and then they also can aid in direction and assistance with advocacy and so forth. So again, that's Ball State Center for Talent Development. The director of that area is just a tremendous person to work with. And if she doesn't have the resource or content that you're looking for, she will find it for you. Again, she's absolutely fantastic. Her name's Dr. Lisa Rubenstein. So I can highly recommend that center. And then I'm just going to briefly touch on two more here that I think are good sources of information. This next one here is Supporting Emotional Needs of the Gifted, or SENG for short. Their primary focus is on the social and emotional needs of gifted students, and they have some truly fantastic written resources as well as community groups and retreats. So this is especially beneficial resource for those in the mental health profession and for families that are just seeking to deepen and broaden their understanding of the social emotional needs of gifted students. So they have this library of articles from all over, and you can search in there by the different topic that you might be interested in learning about. And then they do publish a journal, and I believe it's just an electronic publication, and that you can access that there as well as the community groups. And then the bookstore. Bookstore has some really good resources as well, books that are published through SENG. So um, and I was looking at the books, it might have been a few weeks back now, and was impressed to see that they were geared toward different audiences, including younger kiddos. So again, a great resource for written or printed materials. And then next is Hoagie's Gifted Education. I love that they call themselves the all things gifted page. So when you go there, you're going to see that, and they really truly do have a lot out there. They have resources for parents, educators, and then kids and teens. For parents, you can find information on identification, on testing and assessment, on traditional schooling versus homeschooling, information on gifted at risk, gifted leadership, creativity, twice exceptional, advocacy, and the list just goes on. For educators, specifically counselors, psychologists, and administrators, they offer curriculum resources and information that's based on giftedness and specific disciplines such as technology and music and science, math and humanities, leadership and those types of things. And then for kids and teens, this is probably my favorite site for kids and teens because they offer a reading list, they offer magazines, smart toys, software, apps, and the list goes on. But that reading list in particular it has been very helpful many years ago when my youngest was she must have been in maybe third grade. We were really struggling with finding reading materials for her that were challenging enough, but were thematically still good. And I was able to find quite a bit on this particular site. So again, fantastic resource for everyone, but specifically for the kids and teens. And then I would be remiss if I didn't mention the Indiana Academy and the resources that we offer for high ability students throughout the state. So you'll see the website there on your screen. And the Academy was founded in the late 80s, 1988, by the Indiana General Assembly. We actually opened our doors in 1990 and have been going strong, providing education and resources high ability students throughout the state. I want to highlight just a few of the resources that we have, and then of course leave time for any questions or conversation. So I want to mention our youth enrichment programs. We offer numerous different enrichment programs for grades K-12. These can be done here on our campus, or we can work with your school to bring enrichment programs to your school. These are all taught by our qualified instructors who all have a minimum of a master's degree in their content area, and they are a nationally ranked faculty. We also offer summer camps, and these are week-long day camps where campers get to explore different activities each day. This year, some of the activities that they'll be exploring are astronomy, electricity, computer science, mathematical patterns, secret codes, number theory, creative writing, poetry, and much more. Plus, the campers get to enjoy some of the Ball State resources, such as the Charles W. Brown Planetarium, the Marilyn K. Glock Center for Glass, and the David Owsley Museum of Art, as well as lots of other exciting opportunities they get to have. So again, that's our week-long day camp here on campus. And then we also offer online classes. And these are classes that high ability students can take at their current high school. So our advanced courses, again, they're taught by our nationally ranked faculty, and many of those online courses that they can take from the academy at their current school are also AP and dual credit classes. And then finally, we have what I like to call our brick and mortar high school. We are open for grades K through 12 and have both commuter and residential options. So it's truly a program that's open to students throughout the state of Indiana. Our classes are all college level courses. And as I mentioned, many of our classes are dual accredited with Ball State University. We have a few with Ivy Tech as well. We also have a full range of AP classes. So students can complete their high school experience here at the Indiana Academy and graduate not only with the Indiana Academic Honors Diploma or Core 40 with Honors Diploma, but also earn on average about 22, 24 college credits, which as parents, you know, gives them a great jump on college. The great thing about the Academy program, or one of the great things about the Academy program, is that students don't have to give up those things that make high school fun. So they still get to participate in IHSAA sports. They still have clubs to participate in. Usually we have over 30, sometimes over 50 different clubs and activities for students to participate in. We still have dances, prom, all of those things that make high school fun and memorable. I also want to take just a quick moment to highlight some of the incredible services that our College and Career Counseling Center offers to students, because I believe this is one more thing that makes the Academy very unique in what we're able to offer students. The College and Career Counseling Center works with students about as soon as they arrive on campus, helping them to kind of start looking at the types of colleges that they're interested in, look at the different fields they might be interested in. They work with them on applying, whether through the Common App or through individual school applications. They help them in writing their essays for not only the college admissions process, but also for scholarships. They do individual college planning meetings with the students, and they've been fantastic with bringing lots of college representatives to the Academy where they can speak directly with our students. They provide scholarship information and assist in that search. They also offer academic life coaching sessions and Dr. Schultz is a certified coach, and she is able to offer those services to our students. She aids in helping with letters of recommendation, and she helps with the FAFSA and so much more. So this is a unique office that we're able to host here at the Academy and provide tremendous resources for our students. So that's just a little bit about the Academy and the resources offered to gifted students that we have. So as part of kind of wrapping up, those are just a look at some of the different resources that are offered both in the state and surrounding that I highly recommend, that I've worked with. I know them to be solid and reputable sources. And hopefully you'll find them to be helpful as well. You'll see on the screen in front of you a QR code, and if you like to scan that and answer just a couple of quick questions, I would be happy to send you some cool Indiana Academy swag. If you're watching this in the Zoom room and have questions, please feel free to go ahead and start dropping those into the chat box. And if you're watching this on one of our social media platforms, you can drop your questions in the comments, or you can send it to me at the email address that you see there on your screen. And I will be more than happy to answer your questions. I want to thank you all so much for joining with me. And like I said, I'm happy to answer any questions that you have.